This is the Iron Trader. Now the pit's closed here at 2:30. That's about 5 minutes ago. So we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. Now remember, on crude oil, the API number will be out here today at 4:30, and the EIA report will be out on Wednesday at 10:30 for crude oil. Now, also notable here that you want to watch after the close there today is Amazon's earnings, because that could be a real big market mover. Now the market's selling off. The Dow's about down 390. The Nasdaq's down about 178. The SP X is down about 45. So now Amazon, good numbers, they could turn that right around. So you have to be very, very sharp. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, or ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have crude oil, your daily, weekly, and your monthly chart. Now you always want to look at a monthly here, because that's always really something good for like a long-term view kind of a situation. Now, when we look at the MACD here, the green has not crossed above the red here, but it's moving up. If we can get that to cross, then she can go much higher. Now, there is not much time left here in this month, like today. Okay, so you want to watch this red candle here going into next month. Okay, so that's going to be the key. But what I like about this pattern is a couple things. First of all, its seasonality is in play here. So anytime like a pullback here, this is like a buying opportunity. Because you got Memorial Day, you got 4th of July, you got summer driving. And August, very volatile month because you have hurricane season all the way to the end of September. Now, the Fed is going to speak there tomorrow, so that should be very, very interesting, and it will move crude oil, okay? But what I like about this is this W pattern. See this here on the weekly? Now, when it came down, you're holding that 50 SMA here, very, very nice, and then rolling all the way up. Now, the key is, so far here for the month there, you had 87 to 67. Well, if we can get above that, then we have some nice targets up here at 91.88, and then here's that 95.03 level, okay? And then we can always see what happens when it gets up there. Eventually, it will. But you have a real nice W pattern going on here, so we always want to watch that here on a monthly basis. Now, here on the weekly chart, well, you know, so far it's sold down today, and it's not looking too good, because now what you are is you're below this key 8 SMA here, but you did hold the 100 SMA here for the week. However, today is only Tuesday, and so far we have what they call an inside week. Your high and low is the inside of the previous week's high and low. So we got to see how that's all going to shake out here, okay? So what you always want to watch is if you can go above this high. So far in the week, you had 83.91. Then we can go to last week's high. That's at 84.46. And then we'll come to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 84.55. And then we'll come right there at 86.18. And then you can work yourself all the way up here to this key level, which is 87.67. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. The key is going to be this 8 SMA here, and going to be that 100 SMA here on a closing basis by Friday. That's going to be very, very key. Now, when we look at a daily chart here, you can see what happened here today. Okay, what we did is we put a series and we put a topping tail on here on last Friday. Okay, so I went right as I told you. It says these simple moving averages are like brick walls. When you run on up here, you want to sell right into it. Okay, that's the key. Then we put in a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's never really good. So now what you want to do is when these futures open here at 6 p.m., we want to see how this is all going to shake out. So you want to watch that 83.30 on the high, that 89.85 on the low, and a close at 81.85. Okay, so this is what you want to watch. So now what we have here basically is a pinball action here now. Instead of going between the 8 and the 21 day, now we have the old 50 day and the 8 SMA here, okay? So what it did is once this lost this key 8 simple moving average here, and then it lost yesterday's low, that tells you have to go short. So this was a really nice short play down to this situation, but you got to know when to take it off. Okay, so you had 80.95 and say, okay, Iron Trader, how do you know when to take that off? Well, because what it did, it held the next support level at 80.88. You put in a higher high. So now look here, we have a double bottom situation with a higher high. So that's what you got to remember, okay? So when you lose one level, then you go to the next. Then you go to the 50-day, which would have been the next level. Then it blew past that. Then you always just look to the left of the chart here. Now, again, if it wouldn't have held at 80.88, then we'll look right to this candle here at 80.70, and then we look down here at 80.07. Okay, so, but it held that. So then that told me to take off the short and take a nice scalp long on the UCO. Okay, so right now what it is I scalped out. I got in there, UCO got in as low as 32.47. I didn't get in there, but I got in there at 32.60. I waited to be a little bit patient just in case it would come down a little bit. But when you trade that, you want to look at a tick chart, a 1 and a 5 minute chart. That gives you your instant stuff. We're just looking at the big picture right here, okay? So then I got stopped out at 33 flat. So that was a nice 40-cent gain right there, okay? So that was good there on the UCO. Now, it came back down, and I'm back in it now at 33 flat. So you're sitting at 33.14. So that is my second trade. So I'm going to see what's going to happen when these futures open. And I have a break-even stop on that 33 level there, okay? So if it stops out, I don't lose nothing, no big deal, okay? So what we want to watch here is we want to watch this 50 SMA here. So far you can see where you're closing up. So even when it came down, it doesn't really matter, okay? That's just a trading tool right there. But once it closes back above, that's always very good, okay? So then on the upside, what we want to watch is say it takes off here, once those futures open or tomorrow. Then you want to watch the bottom of that candle, that's 81.99. Then we want to watch the bottom of this candle, that's 82.40. And then with your 8 SMA at 82.81. That's going to be all your resistance levels if this starts moving on up, okay? And then again, if you can get above that, well, then we look for today's high, looking at 83.30. We looked at yesterday's high, 83.91. And then we want to look right there at that 84.39. Okay, so those are the levels. Now, again, if it breaks above, we know where it's going to go. You're going to go to sticky up here at 85.64. Okay, so that's where you know. But we don't worry about that because these levels here are very, very strong. Okay, so just an example here, when this one topped out here at 87.63, this one ran up to 87.67, 3 cents higher, but it couldn't hold it. And that's what they call a nice double top situation. Tells you got to get short, and look how nice that was on the short side, okay? So right now we're going here between the 50 SMA, 81.72, and we're going between that 8 SMA. If that 8 SMA can be taken out, then we just follow the candles all the way up until you hit 84.39. Now again, say it goes below this 50-day, okay, then what we obviously want to watch is you want to watch this candle here, okay? So you're looking at 81.13, and then we want to look here to today's low at 80.95, and then we come down to 80.70, which is the bottom of that candle, and then we have your 80.07, which is your 200 SMA. If that's lost, we come right over here, 79.92, and then we look at your 21-day, 78.17, and then we have your 100-day at 77.77. So those are all your support levels. Again, I like to point out where it could possibly go if this area is lost. But right now, this is really not looking that bad because you are closed above this key 50 SMA here, looking pretty good. RSI is looking okay. MACD is not looking good. It's green below the red. That's never good. See, this is what happens when it goes below the red. This is what happens when the green gets above the red. That's what happens right there. Okay, so real basically here, watch this 50 SMA on the downside. Watch that 8 SMA on the upside. Watch those futures when they open at 6 p.m. and see where we start. But don't be afraid to take two-way trade here. You can take the long, you can take the short. Really worked out very, very good. Now, again, for the long, I trade UCO. For the short, SCO. Very, very easy in, easy out, big volume, no hassle. Okay, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, natural gas. This was actually a really, really good trader there today. Okay, so what I did is I sold right into that 100 SMA. Okay, now it doesn't have to go exactly up there. The 100 is 210, and today's high was 2.092. Okay, so you're what, 0.8 away from hitting that. So when we were down here, I posted on the videos when you watch, I just said you can go back to the videos and look. I said if you get above resistance, you're going to go right into this 100-day, and you're going to go right into that 21-day. And where did it go? Right in there. Okay. Now on the downside, you're at 1.988. So you lost this key 2 level here. Okay. So When those futures open there at 6, what you want to watch is you want to watch, obviously, today's high, 2.09, and you want to watch that low at 1.958 because that's now support. If that is lost, then we'll come over here to the bottom of this candle, looking at 1.91, and then we look at 1.90, and then we're going to look at 1.85. Okay, and then again, if that is lost, then you have your support level at 1.82. You have your 21-day at 1.80, and then we have your 50-day at 1.77. So these are all very, very good support levels if this area is lost. And again, if those key simple moving averages are lost, then we come right to the top there, 1.67, because right here is your gap, 1.90, and then your fill at 1.67, gap and fill, okay? But right now, I like the 8 SMA is crossing on up here. So basically, if this thing could keep moving on, even if it's sold down and you held that 8-day on a closing basis, this could rally up very, very nice. But like I pointed out, these simple moving averages are like brick walls. So you want to sell into that. You never want to buy, okay? Sell into it. Now, again, if it closes above that, well, then we can go. We have other nice little targets up here because what do we have? Okay, you got 2.48 your 50-day, and you got 2.48 your 200-day. Very, very nice targets here if we can get above. But if you can't get above, you're going to go sideways to down, just like we had here. Now, again, if you look at this on the positive side here, we still had a higher high and a higher low. We did not collapse. We did not engulf this whole green candle. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out when those futures and actually when tomorrow morning when it opens up. But again, on the upside here, what you want to watch then is watch this 2.0, okay? Watch yesterday's high, 2.506, and then watch this key level, 210. If you can get above that 210, well, then we know exactly where we're going to go. You're going to go right here to this 212, then we're going to go 215, and then here's the gap, 216. Okay, so that is going to be your target. Above that, 231, 232, and then your gap fill, 242, and then 248. That is where you're going to go on the upside. On the downside, you just got to watch the bottom of today's candle. If that's lost, then we follow the candles all the way down until we get to that 1.85 and down to these key simple moving averages. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. But right now, she just kind of closing right in the gap because you hit that brick wall. Okay, let's take a look here on an hourly and a 4-hour chart. Okay, your hourly chart here still is not looking too bad, okay? Because what we did is we ran right on up here, okay, went to the top of the candle, there's that 2.0. Then we went and had a nice sideways action, you ripped right up there to that 209, which is right into those simple moving averages at 210, okay? Now, it came down, but so far it hasn't rolled all the way down. We haven't even tested these levels here yet, okay? So now we got to see. But again, on the upside, you want to watch that 50 SMA, you want to watch that 8 SMA, and then we want to watch, obviously, that 21 SMA at 2.04. If you get above that 2.04, then what you do is you hit your target at 2.09, okay? So that is your upside. On the downside here, this is what you're going to be looking for, is to hold this key level right here, okay? So you're looking at about this 1.9 level, okay? If that's lost, then we come down here to your 100-day, we come down here to your 200-day, and you can come all the way down here to this gap fill here sitting at 1.62. Very, very easily, okay? So right now we just have sideways action, not looking too good. I mean, not looking too good and not looking too bad, okay? So have no opinion. We just trade what's in front of us there, okay? So what do we have here is right there, okay? So we've got the same situation, but we're holding that nice upper end of this gap fill, which is always good. So you want to watch that 21-day here, and then we want to watch all the bottom of these candles here. That's that 1.9 level. And then if I see it that's lost, you can come all the way on down here to the 50-day, down to your 100-day, down to your 200-day, and maybe even the gap fill all the way down here, okay? But again, long as we're holding this top area, that's all that really matters. Now, again, the scalping in this was really good. I just sold right into that with the UNG. Actually, I sold it in pre-market. And then I scalped a little KOLD there today. So actually, KOLD here is got as low as 67.57 and the high of 72. Okay, so they had a nice, good scalping. I got 3 points out of KOLD. Was very good scalping because the reason I went and shorted it because it couldn't get through that 100-day on the daily chart or that 21-day on the weekly chart. If you can't get through that, that's going to mean it's going to go down, sideways to down. It's just that simple, okay? That's why you want to trade the charts because you know it's the roadmap. You know where it's going. A lot of people are trying to say, oh, charts don't matter. They're after looking. The reason they say that is because they just don't know how to read the charts. It's just that simple. Okay, when you see a roadblock sitting at 210, at I'm saying 210, you know you're going to go. You're not going to get past that the first time. Okay, you sell into that, and then you look, either you can short it like I do, but if you don't like to short, you just wait for the buy period to take another long. So now let's just watch and see what the futures bring. Okay, at 6 o'clock. Okay, and then tomorrow morning. Now there's a lot of week left here. You got all of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you got nice 3 big days here left to make some good money. But don't, if you're a two-way trader like what I am, the long and the short, then don't be afraid to take a little bit of short there and just put a break-even stop loss. If you're wrong, you just break even, boom, it's done. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Same way with the long. Now we're going to see how it's going to get out. Now UNG got as low as 1431 here, and it got as high as 1499. So see, there's a good swing that's involved in these ETFs here. Okay, so if you trade like say what I do, like say 5,000 shares, well, you can make, it doesn't take a whole lot where you can make the actual money. Okay, so watch the futures tonight. Watch that API report there at 4:30, and then keep your eye on Amazon. It's going to be a market mover. And remember that Fed is on Wednesday, and this could be a market mover, but I do not think in any way, shape, or form that he's planning on cutting any rates at all this year. Now, you can mark my words. I might be wrong on this, but I think I'm dead right. These people here, think they're going to get 6K rate cuts, and then they cut it down to 3 rate cuts. Then they're going to get 2 rate cuts. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you now, with the amount of inflation that's going on, okay, all you got to do is get out of your house. That's all you have to do, and you'll see how much inflation is actually out there. There's no way they're going to cut and then say, I'm going to raise rates again. Okay, so that's where we stand. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow morning.